loves. I'm Amy, and I'm your nonfiction feminist. Here's my husband, Christopher. Say hello, Christopher.
Hello, Christopher.
So, as promised in my most recent blog, we are here to discuss annotating books and other such related things. Chris is very against it. I'm fine with it. It's whatever. So, here we go. Why do you hate annotating and other such things?
You mean why am I against defiling books?
Yes, why are you against defiling books?
Well, it's wrong for one. You're wrong for two.
Why am I wrong?
It is like graffiti.
I think graffiti's pretty. I don't mind seeing graffiti on trains because trains
it's
are
like
boring
shitty.
to look at.
No, it's like shitty train graffiti.
Where the person has no talent.
Well, nobody has any talent on trains. Not in Montana.
I don't so much mind annotating, like, I'll specify more later.
But I don't really mind it either. Here's the thing, is that if somebody wants to fuck up their own book, they can tear it apart and write in it or whatever the hell they want to do. But it is wrong. It's a morally wrong act.
Why do you say moral?
Well, because as a reader, you do have a sense of morality, a sense of obligation to the author, right? It's a form of art, and while you might buy somebody's artwork or something out of a store, you take it home, and the first thing you're going to do is mount it up on your wall, and then you're just going to fucking scribble all over it and tear it apart, bend it? No.
That's actually
not really how you enjoy art.
That's an awesome interpretation of that. I'm actually starting to agree. Good for you.
So, you want to show somebody you don't give a shit about your property or about somebody else's work, then go ahead. Bend the pages and color the pages and do whatever the hell.
How does this make you feel?
Sick on the inside, I don't know.
This is the masculine self. I took Men and Masculinity during college. I would never put this many highlights in, say, a fiction book or like one of the books on these shelves, but college textbooks feel different to me because I need notes in my college textbooks, and obviously I really loved this one, and post-it notes were just not enough. Do you think there's a difference between college textbooks and more like fiction and nonfiction stuff, or would you consider a college textbook to be the same?
Well,
where
you're probably worse
it's a piece of artwork.
You're probably worse off doing that to a college textbook. It gives you no opportunity to really sell it back at a decent price, I suppose.
I didn't want to sell this one back. And a lot of my books I got on Kindle, so you can't really sell something back if it's on Kindle, as far as I know.
Yeah, I preferred my textbooks on Kindle. The ones that I had to buy physical copies of, I wouldn't mark up either.
No?
No, not at all. I might make notes on my notebook. That's the whole purpose of a notebook, right? Is to take
Who
notes.
needs notebooks?
Not a textbook. The textbook provides the text. The notebook provides the notes.
I will say...
That's how it goes. So you write down the page number in your notebook, and then you can find it in your book.
This brings me to another topic, though. I wrote down used books. So, here's something that does bother me.
They're kind of like used condoms. I would never use a used book in the same manner that I would never use a used condom. Used
Most
books,
of your
for whatever
Stephen
reason,
King books are used.
They do kind of disgust me. Yeah, I used them. I bought them new.
Okay, well, I bought a lot of these used, so I'm sorry, sweetie. Anyways, used books. So, in college, a lot of the college textbooks that you buy are used. I would open up a college textbook and someone would already have highlighted it and written in it. And when it's someone else who's written in the book and then I get it, I like it significantly less. And then I'm like, why did you do this? This is my book to write in. Which is why when I write in my books now, that I'm out of college and not writing in college textbooks, I write in pencil so I can erase it. So if I decide to donate it, I can erase all of my notes so it doesn't bother someone else like it bothers me. So I don't like finding writing from someone else in my books, even if they're used books. Besides annotating, there's also breaking spines and dog-earing. Broken spines, I try not to break my spines at this point. I was less concerned about it growing up, but I think that's because I had a lot of, like, used mass paperbacks. And when you have a masked paperback, it's kind of hard not to break the spine because of the sizing. What? I'm trying to make it straight for you again, I'm sorry. Dog earring. I assume you're going to use the same argument with dog earring. Dog earring is also something I try not to do as much lately, but a lot of times I just don't have a bookmark on me.
It's property destruction is what it is. But again, if it's your own property, I don't know why.
I will try to avoid dog earring and use, like, my phone or my chapstick as a bookmark, but that's not very good for permanence. What do you use as bookmarks? Do you use actual bookmarks or no? Because I see a lot of book receipts in books that you bought.
Yeah, sometimes I'll keep the book receipt in the very front cover, and that's all I do with the book receipt. And then I usually just try to remember the page number from the last place that I was on in the book.
I sometimes do that, but I read a lot of books now. Why do you keep the receipt?
I don't know why I keep the receipt. Just as a form of a means of remembering when and where I was when I bought the book. Some means of tracking its history, its identity. Usually, 5 years down the road, there's really nothing visible on the receipt. All the ink just kind of wears away.
But you still have the memory. Also, this book, I will try to show you with a close-up, has a bend right here in the front cover. It was put there on purpose, I assume, so you can bend the front cover without breaking the spine. However, I think I would rather break the spine than have this machine-made bend on the front. My Brave New World copy is bent, like, just to the right of the line instead of on the line, and that bothers me that the cover is ruined. What do you think of pre-made lines on the front of the cover?
Well, that indentation is kind of put there with purpose. I, haven't used a book that's been set up like that before, so I really have no feelings one way or the other on that.
Well, it bothers me. And also having to do with damage control. Let's get to the really hot topic here, book borrowing.
Neither a lender nor borrower be, because that shit I cannot stand it. And if people don't take care of other people's property, usually I'm in a position where if I ever have borrowed something from somebody, usually against my will, as I am so against borrowing or lending, I try to return it in better condition than what I received it in. Just something that's not really possible with a book. I just have some serious qualms in lending, especially books. I've done it once before back in middle school, and the cover of the book that was returned to me was pretty trashed. I never receive anything back in good quality. It doesn't matter whether or not they've been a good friend or a shitty friend. I don't know. I can't in good faith give anybody a book and then expect to have it returned in decent condition.
I have a couple stories with this too. I like borrowing and lending, but I'm very picky with who I do it with, which still hasn't really worked out. Right now I have like 2 friends who are allowed to borrow my books. It's very limited, the number of books that they can borrow, and they are also fellow book lovers, which I think makes them more likely to take good care of my books, and I've seen the condition that some of their books are in, which makes me trust them a little more. But back in high school, I bought a brand new copy of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and I read it, and when I was done with it, it still looked like I just bought it. Then a friend wanted to borrow it, and being a book lover, I wanted others to be book lovers, so I let her borrow my book. And when I got it returned, most of the front cover had been completely torn off, except for like a little bit at the bottom. She didn't say anything, she didn't apologize for anything, she just handed the book back to me. And it's like, what do you do with that? Like, that is not how you treat not only your own things, but someone else's things. More recent story, I lent a friend a copy of, or my hardcover copy of Red Clocks. This is actually a better story. Like, it's bad, but it's good. And she'd had it for several months. She doesn't really get a lot of time to read. And so we agreed on a time to meet up so I could get my book back and talk with her about it. And she texted me that very morning saying that getting ready to come out, she'd spilled coffee on the book. However, not only did she admit what she did, she also offered to buy me a brand new hardcover copy, like same edition, of the book, which she did, which I'm forever grateful for, and now she has her own copy that she can read in her own time. So while it's a bad thing that happened, it was an accident, she admitted to it, and she was willing to buy me a new one because she understands taking care of other people's things is really important. Is this all we have to say on borrowing and annotating and dog-earing and trashing things?
Well, there's not much else to say. It's wrong, and that's really about the only point to make.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching us argue. Very different opinions, but I love this guy anyways. Like, subscribe, be my friend, be his friend if you want. I can put his social media information down below, and you can follow his quirky cleverness on Twitter. He himself is a writer, which is probably why you're so strict about taking care of other people's art, which I appreciate. I will see you all in the next video.